Thanks for staying with us. You're welcome back to the morning show here on Arise News. Now let's pause and listen to the following clip before we bring on our distinguished guest.
Yes, 2027 is coming. Some people will say yes. They don't. What they want is 2027. But I can assure you, 2027 landslide. Afenifere will win for you landslide. I can assure you that we know what we want. We say we are Yoruba. Who is a Yoruba person? That's who we are supporting. Our catchment area is Yoruba land.
For Afenifere.
For Afenifere. Baba Awolowo said, be a proper Yoruba man first before you can claim to be a good Nigerian. You know our ideology, you know our history. This Asiwaju's government, whether we like it or not, we are going to be there for as long as he's there. It's us now. He knows everything about what Afenifere wants, about restructuring, about looking after the poor people, about devolving powers to the states or region, or state police and so on and so forth, you know. So he knows everything. If he play politics to grab power, yes, he did it perfectly. He's there now. And he's implementing whatever we want. We know what he's doing. Things are very hard, but foundation, we know the foundation. A lot of people at the lower level will not understand what is happening. All what they want is, I want to eat. I want to eat. I want to eat. Yes, we're going to give them food. But let us lay a very good foundation for Nigeria. This government is just about two years plus. It's going to take about 8 years for us to say yes. We are out of the woods. It has happened all over the world
just that
before.
People will say that the last 8 years before this government,
yes,
you know,
Well, that was the chieftain of a splinter group of Afenifere, the Pan-Yoruba sociopolitical group, Abagun Koli Omololu, on the morning show, calling for a more regional outlook in the choice of candidates during the 2027 general election, rather than a broader, more nationalistic worldview. However, the faction led by Oba Oladipo Olaitan, and which for long was mentored by late elder statesman Chivayo Adebanjo, is saying that such a call will be highly inimical and a great disservice to Nigeria at this critical juncture, when the nation is gearing up for perhaps what could be the most important set of elections in our history. For the group's right of reply, we're now being joined here on the morning show by Prince Justice Faloye, an economist, socio-political activist, president, Ashe Foundation, and the National Publicity Secretary of Afenifere, the Pan-Yoruba socio-political organization. Good morning. Good morning, Mr. Faloye. Good to have you join us.
Good morning.
On the morning show.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you. It's our pleasure to have you.
Yes, sir.
And of course, this is a right of reply. I'm sure that you are very much familiar with what Abagun Koli Omololu said on this same show a while ago, saying clearly that Afenifere group will support his own. In other words, Afenifere will give total support to Asiwaju Bola Tinubu in the 2027 elections. I guess that you think that he probably might not be representing your interest. So my question would be two things, basically. What is your response to that position? Yes. And in case that, of course, it is, your position will be against what he has said, wouldn't that reinforce the fact that there is a deep-seated division within the Afenifere fold? You are of a different faction, he's of a different faction. Does it look like a Yoruba organization is unable to forge unity?
We were horrified to hear what Abagun said. It's a total disservice to Chief Awolowo. Chief Awolowo was not a tribalist. It's clear enough when you say Afenifere. It may, and underneath there's the English that abundance for all. How can you say it's for Yorubas alone? This is not Egbe Modua. This is not Tiwantiwa. This is Afenifere. We are the pan-Nigerian socio-political group, which is slightly to the left of the center. We believe in welfareism. We believe in social democracy. Chief Awolowo actually came out and threatened to curse anybody who labeled Action Group as tribal. How can you say Afenifere is tribal? Right from the beginning, we pushed for Cross River. We had people in the Middle Belt. Chief Awolowo always had vice presidents from other parts of Nigeria. And in 2023, we made it clear, because yes, we initially backed President Tinubu in 1999, but over time we realized that it's not about abundance for all. And we can see, it's clear to everybody, with poverty increasing from 38% to about 58%, with about 130 million people. Is that Afenifere? That's not Afenifere. But you see, because of Afenifere's programs and our love for everybody, we are popular. So people have, used our name. And anybody in Nigeria knows that President Tinubu's greatest trick is breaking up organizations. You could see PDP, you see Labour, you see NLC, you see NANS. There is no way Afenifere is a tribal group. You can, if it's Egbe Modudua, if it's any other group, Yoruba Council of Elders, but not Afenifere. And when you talk about factions, no, there are no factions. There was a single Afenifere. President Tinubu went to meet those who had retired from Afenifere. Baba Factional had retired. Chief Faloye had retired. So how can you say that that's a faction? No, it's not a faction. There is still one Afenifere. And until we change our name from being maybe Afenifere Yoruba or Afenifere Awolowo, then you can say that we will support any Yoruba. No, it's not about any Yoruba. It's about uplifting people. And, I even think that supporting somebody before 2027 is, after us spending billions, within 1 year, 2 years, they're talking about 2027, we have an economy which APC is trying to paper the cracks. But, they say, hold on. What has happened with devaluation is that 300%, there's been a 300% devaluation of real wages, which means that people cannot survive. And you're talking about Yoruba. Is it Yoruba that we're going to eat? We're talking of common people. Yes, we are Yorubas. Some of us, and we are not only Yorubas. So it's a great disservice to the legacy of Chief Awolowo to say, we don't, and especially when it's not your own ileke, and you want to snatch somebody's ileke. We don't support that. And we really would like those who try to paint Chief Awolowo for propagandist motives to stop. You understand? You are there, get your appointments, your contracts and co. But what we, the Mekunus, the people,
Mr. Faloye,
the over 60% of Nigerians.
Now, allow me to interrupt you.
Sorry?
Allow me to interrupt you. You talked about the economy. Please. You said it's not doing well at the moment. A lot of Nigerians are finding it hard to survive. But you're the person that spoke the last time on the morning show. That's the Afenifere chieftain. That's Mr. Kole Omololu. He says that it will take 8 years for President Tinubu to deliver on his promises, as he's busy using his first term to lay a solid foundation for the reforms that he is implementing. I just want to know your thoughts on this. Based on what he has said, do you agree that maybe the president should be given a second term to actually deliver on his renewed hope agenda?
Tell me, please, what foundation are you laying when you devalue people's real wages? What foundation are you laying when you take out productive subsidies? You take out subsidies which cost us about 10 million, and because of that, we have lost multiplier effect of over $200 billion. Our economy has fallen from about 400 to under 200 billion. Tell us exactly. Okay, Nigeria has the highest homelessness in the world. There are 30 million homeless people in Nigeria. What has he done this year? He allocated 20,000 houses. Now, you calculate 20,000 houses a year and see whether, even in 30 years, if you leave him there, those who are homeless will be, will be housed. Look at education. Education, where we have majority of people. He came out and said, oh, he's given 500,000 people loans. There are over 3 million students in Nigeria. That is just 1/6 of students. And when you have over 50% in poverty, please tell me, how are we going to, what foundation are you laying? You have destroyed the business, you've destroyed wages, you've commercialized education. So what foundation? You see, there is nowhere that neoliberal economic policies have worked. Nowhere. We've seen Britain, America that pushed it in I'm an economist. We know when this started in 1978 with Ali Moscow and Co. And ever since then, poverty has been rising, not only in Nigeria, but all black countries that implemented these policies. These policies are not new. We know when devaluation started under Babangida. Did we ever recover? No, we didn't. So stop telling us that, the educated people here. Just don't tell us, oh, you are laying a foundation. What foundation? No employment, no housing. You are not subsidizing businesses. We're having contracts, fancy contracts of $11 billion. We've no economic returns. So, this is audio reforms. Is not. Right. It will not amount to anything. Even IMF, who we followed, said it's going to take. It might take 100 years before we get out of poverty. Afenifere is for abundance for all. Our principles have not changed. We want free education, at least for STEM courses. We want health. We need rural development. We need railways.
All right,
we need
Prince
a house
Faloye,
over each head.
If I can come in there, Prince Faloye.
Yes,
all right. Well, just to put things in proper perspective, I think what the IMF, just like World Bank said, was that if there is consistency in the policies that the federal government is operating, that it will take between 10 to 15 years to begin to see concrete, improvement, but that those reforms were necessary. I don't think at any point did they say that it would take 100 years to get out of poverty.
There was a report.
Okay.
And look, it's simple mathematics, right? Our GDP has fallen from $400 billion to $200 billion. That's 50%. Now you're telling me that this year's growth will be about 3%. Now calculate how long it will take us to get back to where he met us. If we're growing at 3-4%. You understand? And you, initially, to get this 3-4%, you have contracted the economy for 50% to 100%.
But the growth is already 4.2%, and
economics is simple
and they're projecting for 6%. The growth is already at 4.2% as we speak, and the projection is that it will be about 6.5%.
You see, even that growth figures. You see, there's one thing that we have to understand also with this government. is that they do tamper with statistics. I mean, for example, the employment rate. They took out some things and now suddenly we have 4% or we have 5%. So you have to be very careful with those figures. That's one. Now, also, when you take, like what happened in Nigeria, you take $10 billion of subsidy, that has 200%. That takes 200 billion from the economy. So when it gets to a point, it will level out. And also because of the foreign exchange devaluation, it will level out. Now, because it's gone so low, it will adjust. But what is the real development? What's the real productivity of this economy? You understand? Because most of us have seen graphs where it goes down like that, then you go, a bit. Because it will try and adjust itself. But you cannot show me what is really being done.
Okay, Prince Faloye, I get you clearly.
That devaluation.
Yes. I get you clearly. Apologies for interjecting. I just want us to also stay, in line with, the key reason why you are here. And I would like to ask, which was where I was actually going, given that Awolowo said that his own faction of Afenifere will support Tinubu in 2027. Are you saying, with all the analysis that you have given about how you think the economy is not working so far under Tinubu, are you saying expressly to us that your faction of Afenifere, which of course is the faction of Oba Oladipo Olaitan, will not support him? And if you are not going to support him, who will you support? Will it be Peter Obi, like Pa Ayo Adebanjo did in 2023? And what will be your reason? Is it to compensate for the injustice that a number of people think that the Southeast, the Igbos, have been subjected to? Or will it be because you think that a Peter Obi, for example, will perform better than Asiwaju Bola Tinubu?
First of all, we only have 2 years, so we're concentrating on governance. But we can say even in these 2 years, the principles that made us support Peter Obi have not changed. We still believe in rotational presidency, and we also believe in restructuring and cost of governance being reduced. This has not been done. Peter Obi came to pay us a visit a few months, like a month ago, and we said, we still kept it open, but we said, look, this is what we expect from governance. We don't, it's not for our personal, we expect you, this is our 4 cardinal points. We expect a government which is not going to be spending all its money on political cronies, and we expect a government to push like Awolowo did, to uplift the masses. Nigeria has enough resources, but you see, what APC has done is just going ideological without actually thinking of the effect. Devalue Naira, and remove subsidies, which is more or less like breaking our social contract. So, if an election was to take place tomorrow, I do not think that this government has fulfilled our requirements. Now, it could be Peter Obi, it could be anybody else who comes, but before Afenifere, and I really don't like this, before the real Afenifere decides, we will sit down and we say, look, how many houses would you build a day? How many lines of railway do you intend to? The president came up and said the Maradi railway that President Buhari commissioned to Niger is being completed, and that's 40%. No, that is not 40%. You see, there are too many things, but we knew this because we are no strangers. We've known President Tinubu since 1999, and we know that his perspective, his political, is not about that. It's not about raising or helping the people. It's about consolidating power just for power's sake. So I don't think Afenifere will anytime, whether he's a Yoruba or even if he's
Mr. Faloye.
our blood brother, we will not support that.
Well, Mr. Faloye, just before we let you go, I'd like you to tell us how significant you think Afenifere's endorsement is in Nigerian politics, particularly in the southwest region, where some elites have said in the past that Afenifere does not represent the interest of all Yorubas in Nigeria.
We have never said we represent all. We can't. Because when you say, oh, then you are prependalist. What we are saying is that we represent the masses of Yoruba, and not only Yoruba, but that of Igbo, that of Hausa. We are a nationalistic group. Because if you say you want to just develop Yoruba land, and the whole country comes down to it, what does it pay us? We have to develop Nigeria. We have to have what you call balanced development in Nigeria. So it's not about tribe, because you don't take your tribe to the market. And that is what it is, that right policies. That's what we're about. Not about tribe, not about that's an insult.
All right, so okay, we get to
that's how we say it.
All right, we'll get you very clearly. But again, just very quickly, would you like to confirm by what what you said earlier at the interview, that there is only one Afenifere? Does that therefore mean that the faction that Factional represents is no longer existing? Is that your stand? Because that clearly is not the stand of Abagon Omololu.
You see, anybody can just Google Factional resignation. It's there. The full statement, and it wasn't he resigned, we begged him. He resigned. He's actually my uncle. So, and I'm from Akure. He resigned.
So who took over?
People like
who took over when he resigned?
And some younger ones.
Who took over when he resigned?
Sorry?
Who took over the mantle of leadership when he resigned?
Babade Banjo.
Adebanjo.
He put Babade Banjo, and our present leader, he made Babade Banjo the leader, and he made Oba Olaiton the deputy leader. Now, when Babade Banjo died in February, automatically Oba Oladipo Olaiton took over. So you cannot tell me that somebody who has resigned willingly. In fact, we begged him not to resign, but he resigned. Now, for you to now come back, and Baba is an old man, so they was playing games. You understand? That's what they did. They just played games and used his name. And if Babade Banjo, if Babade Factional is there, he will be the one speaking. But no, what you will find out is Abagun Omololu, who was a former organizing secretary, because our current organizing secretary is Dele Farotimi. So, but he just used that, and it's all about preparing. You could hear him. We are here. We are coming to eat. That's not what Nigeria is about. An average Afenifere can feed himself. It's not about that. It's not about getting a contract. It's about the abundance for all. That's what it's about. But unfortunately, Nigeria has become and I don't even think President Tinubu will be that tribalistic in public. So for him to come, it's our turn, it's Yoruba's turn, you're real Yoruba. No, Chief Awolowo, who created us, actually threatened to curse anybody who called us a Yoruba party. So how can you...
Well, Mr. Faloye...
And Chief Awolowo said that out of Nigeria, if you want to look for anybody to align with, we should align with Igbos. Okay. He said it.
So, Mr. Faloye...
But this Mr. Faloye,
allow me to interrupt
like the Akitola group. That is...
Allow me to interrupt you. So with what you have said now, the onus lies on Afenifere to prove to Nigerians that they are not tribalistic and they do believe in one Nigeria. So what will you be doing going forward, you know, to ensure that the relationship between the Yoruba people and other regions in Nigeria are not affected with this statement or with this interview that was granted by one of your chieftains, which you have disowned?
If you look at it, in 2022, Afenifere was actually the one who pushed all other groups to support Peter Obi. We pushed it. I mean, if you remember, Papa Adebanjo was there on the podium even before Ohaneze or Pande Franco. We have always been like that. Because, you see, it's not that we just want to give it, but we know that the only way we will have peace is if we have justice. And that justice, we have tied it to rotational presidency and restructuring, where we have true representative governance. What President Tinubu is doing now is actually breaking up our federation, where he now inputs local governments has a federating unit, whereas local governments are administrative units of states. Then he now given this carrot of regional bodies. We cannot have regional bodies because we have over 300 groups. So you say you want to have six or 8 states. What about those in the Middle Belt? What about those in Delta who've said that we want to be as close as a federating unit, and that's why we have states? So everything we stand for, restructuring from, and not just mouthing it. When we say restructuring, we're referring specifically to the Confab report, which Afenifere at that time brought about and pushed through President Jonathan. We haven't changed.
Okay.
That's how our integrity is intact. We don't come here and say, oh, it looks like everybody is eating. No, let's go and eat it. No, it is what we believe. It is what we stand that we pass on. Baba Banjo and the other Babas pass it on, to my generation of Edele Farotimi, myself, Shola Ibisheni, and others.
All right.
But it is still the same principle and never about tribe.
All right, Prince Justice Faloye, we want to thank you for joining us on the morning show today. Thanks for your insight into the Afenifere matter.
Thank you for giving us a...
Thank you.